Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching from. My name is Berveleen Mashonga from Hyundai Mobis, and today I'm going to be your host. Welcome to the Women Automotive International Women's Day. While we're waiting for more people to join, I already saw in the comments, you guys are telling me where you're watching from. So what we're going to do, we're going to play a little game. Everyone who's watching, let me know what country you're watching from. And at the end of the show, we're going to choose the winner. The country with the most participants is going to get a shout out. I am looking forward to the show today. There's so many amazing speakers. We're going to learn so much. And while we're here, we want to show appreciation and that our thoughts of our colleagues, our friends, and our families in Syria and in Turkey. Now, let's get started. Today, our first speaker is an amazing woman, a global CIO. She works at Mercedes-Benz. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gülnaz Önes.
Hi there. Very happy to attend.
Hi, Gülnaz.
Again, actually, that's already my second time.
I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm so excited, and everyone's excited, as you can see. So I will give you the stage.
Thank you so much. So today we focus on a topic I think very relevant for most of us. So a hybrid world, which defines our way of working nowadays. And I'd like to touch a bit on what sort of opportunities, but as well the challenges it brings, especially when it comes to the leadership. What does that mean to lead in a hybrid world? So let me go through a bit introducing the organizations I work for. So I'm part of Mercedes-Benz and in particular the Mercedes-Benz Mobility AG. So the organization within the Mercedes-Benz group where we are focused on offering services along with the cars, the fantastic cars and vans. So services around financial services like leasing fleet, but as well insurance and very recently charging. So everything around the journey of the mobility. So we are present in 87 locations with our around 9,000 employees. This is a truly global company, meaning we really also do a lot of online work, of course, hybrid work. And coming to me, so I have been within the organization since 2000. I spent some of my years in Istanbul, where I originally come from, and but then last 11 years I'm based in Stuttgart, headquarters we say, but I'm always taking global roles as well. Now today I'm the global CIO for the Mercedes-Benz Mobility AG, so I'm leading a tech expert teams of 1,048 people worldwide located. And we really work cool stuff, design and operate a lot of digital solutions for our organization. And of course, by the nature of my work, I really truly enjoy having a diverse team and diverse organization, but as well making it very convenient for any form of work, any form of working, because if you want to have I truly believe in the value when you have diverse skills, you design the best, excellent products. But to reach that, it also should be a very embracing an inclusive environment. I don't want to say any more workplace, but an environment that we really have in mind, and to any form of contribution, any form of work is convenient for our colleagues and teams. And in the before pandemic, we always were most of the time on site, except the travels and workshops. And during the pandemic, we also learned what does it mean to be fully remote. More or less a similar approach, right? Everyone has the equal constraints or equal conditions, equal contribution. So more or less, we also learned what does that mean. And that's why I here put a check mark that we as leaders, but as well teams, feel very familiar and convenient with that. Where it starts becoming a bit more challenging is actually the hybrid world, where some of the participants, some of the people are on site and some of them are remotely joining. There it becomes a bit challenging indeed, because, you know, the way, the level of constraints they have and is really much more challenging. So here it becomes a bit more difficult to come to the same level of inclusion, same level of belongingness, and the same level of contribution. And here, of course, one of the things that becomes very important: how do you bond these people, these teams, around the same goals? So the purpose really comes into the game. And also, how do you enable the platforms, the solutions, tools, workplace solutions, so to make it as seamless and convenient for everyone as possible? And thirdly, of course, what becomes very important: how type of common rules and procedures do we agree, principles do we agree as the team, so that no one feels left out if the person is remotely joining, so no one is losing the speed of the topic, or so we really have to work a lot consciously on the solutions, how to make it equal and seamless and convenient for each of the participants. So coming then to the next aspect of it is really the work itself, the definition, the term of work. In the past, we were associating that with the workplace, rather the office, when we said we go to work, and so that was what we were immediately thinking of. But nowadays, it's really work means actually the outcome. So that's one of the biggest difference. We really have to rethink of the definition of the term. And when it is really an outcome, especially the purpose again comes into the stage. The leaders need to create a very good definition of what is the purpose of the organization? What is it that we want to reach? And what are the outcomes we expect to reach together? That makes it much easier for the teams, regardless of the working mode, to really start imagining what do we want to reach together, and how is their contribution is related to the outcome, and how can they really bring the best each day to what they do. And this is exactly where I'd like to talk a bit about some very important leadership traits that become even more important when we are in a hybrid way of working. I'd like to start with the purpose. So here there's a very nice quote around to lead, you must first listen with an understanding heart and then act with a decisive mind. So we as human beings, we of course always seek for sense, for logic, for a sense in what we do, why we do that. But equally, as we are human beings, we have emotions, and we also want to be emotionally engaged and touched by the motivation of what we do. And this is the foremost responsibility of a leader, is to make it very clear the purpose to the teams. And that makes the whole difference then to the teams, no matter if they are joining from any part of the organization or attending maybe from a different location on a remote or in on-site. It makes no difference what the working mode is. It makes a difference if everyone has a clear understanding of what is it they are reaching and what is their portion, their contribution to what they want to reach. And equally also important then is trust. So creating an environment of trust is again a number one responsibility of a leader. especially in the past, in a classical mindset, when you are remote, when you are attending remotely, there was always, due to trust, reasons of trust, or lack of transparency, concerns around that remote work. But that was something we had to overcome, right, during pandemic. And now in the hybrid mode, again, it is extremely important to really gain trust, to create an environment of trust. And when we talk about trust, here, it is really trust about the authenticity. So the employees, the colleagues, the teams expect to see from the leadership team that they want to believe that they are authentic. So they are open and honest in their communication. They also want to trust their empathy, so that the leaders genuinely listen and take care of the concerns, the questions, the needs. But of course, they also want to trust the logic. So they need to trust the thought process and the reasons and the judgments of the leadership. So that means creating a radical transparency of the decisions, communicating continuously is extremely important. It is what is expected from the leaders. But also what leaders have to do, they should trust the abilities and the skills of the teams. And they should continuously stay connected with them, create formats, and so to be very close to the teams and understand and create an environment of a physical and a mental well-being. So the colleagues create an environment, the colleagues, the teams feel comfortable in the way they bring their contribution. So trust, creating trust both ways in an environment of trust is extremely important. And thirdly, I'd like to touch my favorite topic, empowerment. So empowering, like here, another very nice quote: leadership is empowering other people as a result of your presence. So, and making sure that their impact continues in your absence. So it should not matter whether the leaders are present or not, or it should not matter whether the colleagues are on-site or off-site or remote. In the end, it's rather creating an environment that you are empowering the experts to perform their expertise and bring their contribution to fulfill, to serve for the purpose. And here, of course, that's very important to, again, invest in platforms and processes to make that possible and easy, and also making it very visible. What is the contribution of the teams? Very visible, recognizing them and appreciating them, and all of these pay into the empowerment. So here I'd like a bit tell a story. What has worked for me? What works for me, or also day to day? What I make sure always when it comes to purpose, I create a lot of formats and have a dialogue, be it in the town halls, being in the all hands meetings, be it in some different coffee talks, special formats, to always have a dialogue on the purpose and make the purpose always clear and communicate and make it very custom for the teams, fitting to their area. And also creating, of course, inspiring them, creating motto. For example, Tech Moves Us was the motto I was creating immediately when I came to this new role 7 months ago. So really to create an also motivational slogan to unite, bond teams. But of course, by nature of what I do, I'm a fan of agile practices. And as I'm in the technology field, I also immediately leverage formats of SAFe or OKRs, which helps actually to link the purpose with our day-to-day contributions very strongly, that it is very clear for the teams what value they bring to the customers, to the organizations, and with every achievement, we also celebrate the success. And when it comes to empowerment and trust, of course, I really like giving some space. So the definition of hybrid is up to the teams. If they want to do it, meet 2 days a week, or if they want to have a fixed slots of the week, or they want to be completely in their mode, flexible in that, I really leave it to the teams, and I trust the teams that needs to collaborate the closest decide on their own the best. And in this product-driven approach, where we are working with mixed teams, by nature, we work with global teams. By nature, we work with cross-functional teams. And by nature, we have on-site, a mix of always on-site, off-site teams joining and working on the products together. And this way of working, again, helps me a lot in managing the challenges with the hybrid, but actually leveraging the opportunities of hybrid and bringing new talents, different skill sets much easier from around the world, rather than trying to hire teams always from in Germany or in specific locations. But I also create a lot of communities, a lot of social formats to make sure that there are virtual meetups, so that the social bonding is always there, and the teams can really exchange and on a social, but also the content, business content topics, and these are they really feel a part of the team, and we don't lose anything from not being on site all the time. So these are the practices, actually, what has worked for me. And I'm really now curious to exchange a bit. What are your experiences? Maybe what are your challenges, or what are your recipes to deal with this situation, hybrid situation?
So that was an amazing presentation. With everybody watching in the comments, what are your experiences and your experiences and in regards to the hybrid situation? I do have a question that's really important that I really want to ask to you, Gülnaz, but while we're waiting for everybody to type, maybe I could ask you this question.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So it's from Louise Moxon from the UK. She said, I read today that in the UK, they have dropped 6 places in gender equality ratings. It's the lowest score ever, and the initial comments blame high childcare costs, and that companies need to get people back in the office. Women are again leaving because of the default care tasks that fall on them at home. Do you think flexibility should be a key component as a hybrid work policy?
Absolutely. That makes a huge difference. And that is also, I forgot to mention, actually, as also the organization, we adapted our policies. We adapted to make it also more convenient, and we introduced special formats. For example, we introduced Flow Fridays. We introduced flexible working in our contracts. So really making it much more convenient, especially for women colleagues, especially if, during their maternity period, or they need to take care of elderly or whatever. Yeah. And that really makes a huge difference. And also making sure that we really freeze the situation, the potentials, and until the colleagues, female colleagues, are back, and then they continue right away in their career journey. So, and we do apply a lot of measures to make it a more gender equal and a more inclusive environment.
That's really great to hear. And as you can see, I have a great smile on my face, because that's a really, really nice thing to hear. It's a discussion that's always, on topic. So some of the answers that I have from the ladies, we have one from Katerina Messner. She says, from your question, that regular face-to-face meetings are good. One lady, Vaishali Venkatesan, says clear communication. Then a question from Rusu Paula. They say, are there initiatives at school level in Germany to increase the number of women in engineering and automotive?
Oh yeah, there are definitely associations like MINT and for the MINT students, and there are communities, and we are also, as the Mercedes-Benz, collaborating with them and helping out at the early ages, at the school ages, to really introduce them the opportunities in the future, and encouraging them to also study in those mathematics disciplines, because especially when we talk about engineering, of course, these are important skill set wise, and these are the fields that women tend to choose less, and to really fill the pipeline. We do a lot of activities, and that is the only way. Without filling the pipeline, it would be really difficult to make it more equal and more gender equal.
Yeah, so I think I really relate to what you're saying, because I did mechanical engineering and I was also the only female in the class. And I remember going to, I think it had to be Mercedes-Benz that had like an event, which was like a girls' day or something like this. That was in the UK. I grew up in the UK. I'm now in Germany, Team Germany. And we had some sort of event, and there were women that worked at Mercedes-Benz that were, you know, just talking about STEM subjects, we call them. And we also have that in my company called Girls' Day, and normally in April, if I'm not mistaken. So I really know that companies, you know, engineering companies do have these sort of events. So there's another question from Fatima Farag. She says, thank you, Gülnaz. Generally, how do you manage the difficulty of information transparency between on-site and remotely attending team members? Also, collaboration is a crucial topic to follow in these times. How do you make sure collaboration is enhanced if the gap is widening? So we'll start with the first question, with the transparency between on-site and remote.
So for me, the best way is to adjust all my formats, material, and narrative, everything according to the remote audience, so by default. And then whomever is on site is, okay, extra bonus, maybe. but I really want to make it really like, by default, very remote convenient, so that everyone has really the equal chance to be a part of it. So we really organize exchange, collaboration, breakout sessions remotely. So we also do it remote. Even there are some on-site people, we do it on via murals or others, really like a different formats or tools remotely. And because I do have a global team, anyhow, majority of my teams are, I would say, outside Germany. And by nature, that is for me a day-to-day practice. And I know some functions struggle with that because maybe they have a different ratio of on-site remote. But at least being the CIO of the organization, I always cheer for remote, and I try to balance it out. And during pandemic, I think that was one of the only positive outcomes, especially for us, for tech people, that, you know, it proved, yes, it is possible. Yes, let's keep doing that.
Honestly, it's very inspiring. And for those that don't know that are watching, Women Automotive Network actually has a mentoring program. So if you have a daughter or somebody that needs mentoring, I really recommend it. It's very inspiring. You have women like Gülnaz Önes that, I mean, a global CIO, that's amazing. That's really inspiring. So definitely for those that don't know, she's an amazing woman, and make sure you follow her as well. Check out her page and leave her a heart on her page. So I think we will wrap it up. There's so many questions, but because of time, we have to wrap it up. It was an amazing presentation, Gülnaz. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's always inspiring to be a part of this event, and you can reach me out, as you have mentioned, via LinkedIn, and happy to continue the dialogue offline as well.
Yes. Please do, everybody, send her a heart in the comments while we're waiting for our next group. Yes, you're getting so many hearts right now. See you
Thank
later.
you. Have a good one.
Have a good one. So